So how is Title IX about to take a different shape? Like what is changing and what's working and what's maybe not going to work so well?
Sure. Like I said, honestly, from a big picture standpoint for the folks on this call, there's a lot of very specific procedural process type stuff that impacts people like me significantly. But in terms of the student and the staff really feeling it, um, it wouldn't necessarily be as big of an issue in the day-to-day type stuff. What the hard part about the new regs is that they've made the process that we have to follow extremely cumbersome, and it will take a long time. And that's really unfortunate, right? Because if we have a situation of discrimination or sexual violence or whatever it may be, we got to take care of that, right, in our schools immediately. And before, we were given actually 60 days to finalize a case. My goal was always, 15 to 30 days, which was pretty standard. But now there are so many steps, and I can give you an example. Like I said before, we didn't have to share the investigative report, and now we do, and we have to give 10 days for review. So we just lost literally 2 weeks, right? And so it takes up so much more time and so many more resources. And it really can have a trust impact on the school, right? Because it looks like nothing's being done. And really everything's being done, but the process has become so cumbersome, and there's such specific details on it that have to be followed, that it definitely will seem like things aren't being taken care of. It also can be perceived, the new regs, as a barrier to, really, in my opinion, all students involved. I don't think any student that would want to go through a formal hearing with cross-examination from advisors as a college student. I don't think the accused would want to do that, or the victim.
Well, and that's a requirement now, isn't it?
And that's a requirement for college, yeah. And so that is certainly a barrier, right? Another barrier, which is K through, post-secondary, is that we lose some of that confidentiality piece, okay? So like I said, that report is now shared, and all the information is shared, not only with the other student involved, but also with their advisor, whoever that advisor is. And that's different. And we would have never shared that information before unless the court told us to, but that is certainly a barrier, because students and even employees, frankly, will be concerned about that, right? So basically what they've done with Title IX is they moved from, and I'm not even giving any opinions, I'm just telling you like it is. If you really read it, it goes from a supportive process to a very legalized process, which doesn't necessarily always fit within an educational institution.
Right.
And in some ways, it's really up to the institution, right? Like, I'm going to make it so as easy as I possibly can to help my students through this process, right? But it doesn't mean that the Title IX coordinator at a big, huge school is going to feel the same way, right? And so, I'm looking at my notes real quick. So I think for all of you, those are the big ones. Now, the good news about the new regs is that they require a specific Title IX team at every school district or school who have extensive training. And so that's excellent news. And that both CMC and the school district have already gone through all of those extensive trainings, except some of the school district are finalizing today and tomorrow. And then also a good thing is that we have to have better information on our websites. So we really need to have a specific place for Title IX that talks about that. Essentially, we do not, we treat sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, discrimination very seriously and aggressively at our institution. this is our policy, these are the members of our Title IX team, and this is how they've been trained. And there's lots of things we could do with that. Like I would love to have like a parent and student guide out there and, you know, all kinds of stuff and a procedure to go along with the policy, but it now kind of forces us to do that. So I just have to point out there are a few good things, but it's a lot of work to get done by August 14th.
Yeah, no doubt. It definitely got dropped on everybody pretty heavily.